Hello and welcome to the video. In this video we're going to be looking at something that quite a few pilots have asked me about over the last couple of months. The most recent one that I can find, looking through my comments, is from Craig. Now Craig's talking about how do you navigate the on-screen display in things like Betaflight with your radio in order to do things like change PIDs at the field. When YouTubers like I are kind of showing the navigation and setting these things up, we don't always take the time to actually show you how to, one, access and get into the menu, and then two, how to navigate it too. So that's what we're going to do in this video to show you how that all works. We're going to use this little model here. This is something that we've already looked at on the channel. You can go and have a look. This is a Lizard 95, a fantastic little flying machine. The really nice thing about this is it has a Betaflight on-screen display. I'm going to use my Taranis radio, and what I'm going to do is once we've got everything running is have like a picture-in-picture here on the screen, so that we'll have the main bit being the actual OSD, so you can see what it looks like, and we'll also have down here in the bottom right hand corner a picture of the Taranis, so you can see what I'm doing with the sticks to navigate and set everything up. Now before we get into this, it's worthwhile saying that there's actually 2 or 3 different kinds of on-screen display that you're going to come across on your craft. When you fire it up, the logo and the way it initially announces itself as everything's booting and getting ready will let you know which one you have. If you have an integrated on-screen display that's going to run Betaflight, and we'll see this in a second, when it starts up it actually has like the Betaflight logo, you can kind of see it on that little image there, then that means you can access and change everything through the Betaflight GUI. If you fire up your model and find that it says something like MW-OSD or something like that, then it's a OSD that you can still use to change the settings on your flight controller, but it's not updated and set automatically when you flash Betaflight, and you won't be able to set up the position of all the pieces and what you want to see in your on-screen display using the Betaflight graphical user interface. If you're going to have one of those kind of on-screen displays, then you're going to have to connect it up to a computer, probably using something like an FTDI adapter, or if you're lucky it might even have a USB connector on-screen display pieces itself, and you're going to have to use whatever dedicated software there is for it. But for the purposes of this demo, we're going to use this little thing because it has a Betaflight on-screen display. So here we have everything ready to set up. I've got my screen ready, I've got my radio turned on. Let me power up the little model.
Telemetry recovered.
And as it powers up, you'll actually get instructions about how you access the menu itself. Now, to access the menu, and this is usually why it's better using an arm switch, there's a very specific set of positions that you have to do with your controls, and it'll all work. So this is using Betaflight version 3.1. It's always worthwhile checking as it fires up, just to watch in case they've changed the positions. But most on-screen displays, what you do is you put your throttle in the middle position, you do your left, which is over there, and pitch up to the top, and then we are in the menu. So here's all the different features and pieces that we can play with. So let me now just put the radio in the middle of the screen and zoom in slightly, and let me kind of show you all the pieces. So here we are in the main menu, and here's all the things that we can actually change. So we have profile, features, SCR, alarms. Now to navigate up and down, you use the right hand stick, just move it up and down, and it will move that little chevron on the left hand side. That is going to highlight what we're interested in. And then to pick something, we're going to move this stick to the right. So let's look at profile first, because that's where the PIDs are, which is what we've been asked about. So you have the PID profile, 1, 2 or 3, so you can have multiple PIDs set up and change them. So if you move left and right, you'll see in the right hand side it goes 2 to 3 and down to 1, whatever. So if we go down and select the PIDs, so again to select the PIDs for the next level of menu, we're going to click right, and here are all the PIDs themselves. Now we are let's say we're going to change something, so let's go and say that the your P is way too high, want to save that. So then what we'd do is, while that's selected, we'd move it left and right to change the number that we're interested in, and once we're happy with that, then we're going to go and select back, right stick again, and then in here you have all the other pieces about that you'll probably recognize from the graphical user interface itself. Select back to go up to the level. So there's all those different pieces. Then we've got the features. This is what you can turn on and off. You can obviously enable and disable black box. Let's go back. You've got the LED strip, whether it's enabled or not. Let's go back again. You can set the alarms. You can set the screen layout. You can decide what active elements that you actually want. You can turn them on and off in here. And there's an awful lot to choose from actually. If it doesn't say back at the bottom, it usually means that there's more screens that you can go through. Then we've got the alarms that you can set up. So if, for example, that you find that you need to increase maybe the flight time a little bit, then you can here. At the moment it just sets, so you set it in minutes. Let's go back again. Here's the flight controller info, just if you're not sure what Betaflight version. We can see we're running Betaflight here, version 3.1.
30 seconds.
We've got all those other pieces too. We've got miscellaneous, minimum throttle level, VBAT scale, so we find the VBAT stuff isn't
20
happy.
seconds.
RC preview, that's what all my channels are doing. So as I move things around, you can see the pitch value dropping. Go back again. And then if you are happy with all the changes you've made and you want them to stick, then what you do is you select save and reboot, and again do a right hand stick, and that would save those new configuration settings, whether it was VBAT or your PIDs or whatever. Or if you don't want to change anything, you can just go down to exit and click right for exit, and there we are, it's all working. So that is how you get into the menu. So the trick is, of course, make sure that your quadcopter isn't armed, but you put the throttle in the middle position, then you hold your left, put the pitch to the top, that will access the menu. Once you're in the menu, you navigate up and down with the right hand stick, select the pieces that you're interested in, and then you can highlight the bit that you want to change. So for example, if we want to put things like the horizon on, I can change it in there. Go down to the bottom, say back, back again, say save and reboot. There's our little warning, and then when it comes back up, there we have our little artificial horizon now that I've just turned on, and there it is moving as I move the craft around. So that's the trick, that's how you access the menu, and that's how you change things. So hopefully that helps those of you that have been looking at this and weren't exactly sure how all that worked. Thank you for taking the time to watch that video, and particularly for watching right to the very end. We try and release a video on Tuesday and Friday, and sometimes we'll release 1 or 2 extra ones in a week as well. All of the videos on the channel are organised into easy to use playlists, so do have a look in there, because if you're interested in a subject, we organise all the videos on that subject so you can find them easily all together in one place. If you like what we're doing, then please like and subscribe and tell others about the channel so they can come and join as well. We're available in all of the usual social media places, particularly in places like Instagram, Twitter, and we also share all of our 3D designs on Thingiverse.